There's something undeniably distinctive about Benefactor. Released in 1994 by Psygnosis and Digital Illusions, it's a game that defies easy classification. A curious blend of platforming and puzzling that feels both familiar and entirely its own. For the Commodore Amiga, it stands out as a peculiar gem, brimming with charm and inventive gameplay that still intrigues to this day. But what sort of Benefactor are we talking about? This isn't the tale of a kindly geriatric handing over a fortune to an unexpected charity or long-lost relative. No, Benefactor is the story of a younger gentleman, Ben E. Factor, an intergalactic do-gooder, master of deep space survival and proud owner of the worst tracksuit and trainers combo ever since Rocky Balboa's heyday. Think less Downton Abbey and more budget sci-fi hero. Our man Ben has been summoned to save the merry men of Minniat, a cheerful race of beings whose idyllic existence has been ruined by their less than neighbourly nemesis, the Minniatians. These space hooligans have not only imprisoned the merry men's leaders across 6 moons, but also nicked their most treasured gadget, the Rainbow Machine. It's like robbing the Smurfs of their blue. At its core, Benefactor is like a charming mashup of Prince of Persia and Lemmings. Ben, our tracksuit-clad hero, must rescue the merry men on each moon while dodging hostile creatures and solving puzzles. Picture a gym teacher moonlighting as a space hero. The most obvious thing about the game is the teeny-weeny itsy-bitsy tidgy-widgy scale of everything. On a 14-inch monitor, I remember thinking that the little guy was the size of a station master from a train set, whereas the creatures are the size of a match head. When I first started playing, I thought that this tiny scale must have something to do with you needing to see a vast amount of the screen at once, but this is just not the case. Even if you needed to look ahead all the time, the game lets you scroll the screen around, so why the tiny figures? I really don't know. Maybe the programmers did not feel like or could not be bothered with presenting us with huge, realistic-looking flashback-esque characters. Or perhaps they thought that tiny figures would be somehow cute and endearing, which I guess they are. However, even at this minuscule size, Ben's moves are fluid. Running, jumping, climbing and rolling like a budget version of Aladdin. But the real stars are the merry men. These colourful critters aren't just for show. They fix ladders, chop obstacles and operate complex machinery. That is, unless they're the grey merry men, who are essentially toddlers on a sugar high. These moody little devils march straight off cliffs unless you hold them to the nearest colouring machine to brighten up their spirits and their skins. Of course, every hero needs adversity, and the moons of Minniat deliver in spades. The Minniatians have stocked the place with slugs, ghosts, bats and bees, not to mention all the rickety platforms and trapdoors designed to send Ben plummeting to his doom. It's basically a space-age episode of Wipeout. Ben does have an energy bar, but reckless platforming or inattentive babysitting of merry men will end your adventure faster than a speedrun of Tetris. Luckily, you can rely on your rescued merry men to pull levers and hit switches to make your life marginally easier, assuming you've kept them alive of course. This isn't a mindless platformer. Careful planning is key. Each level is a delicate puzzle where sequencing your rescues matter. Luckily, the minimap and full-size map accessible by pressing M let you plot your moves like a tactical genius, or at least prevent you from running in circles. To complete each level, you have got to find keys to unlock each of the cells, and then get the creatures back to a teleporter. But obviously, it's not plain sailing. For a start, the little critters cannot jump, so they just walk up to the edges and stand there until you pick them up and jump across gaps, or throw them up to higher platforms. At first, Benefactor might feel underwhelming. Ben's clunky jumps and the initial chaos of saving merry men may all be a bit dull, but stick with it, and the charm sneaks up on you. Once you get those merry men working like a well-oiled and colourful machine, the satisfaction is immense. Watching them fix a ladder, or winch you out of a sticky situation is oddly heartwarming, like watching Lemmings, but with a much cheerier vibe. So basically, in summary, You have to run around platform-filled levels, avoiding traps while finding the right key to the right cell, and tripping switches to open new pathways to the trapped merrymen. Once released, the prisoners can help you by pressing buttons and tripping switches themselves, as long as you throw them onto the right platforms. Visually, the game's bright backdrops and quirky sprites are easy on the eyes, though sometimes it's hard to tell where platforms begin or end. The music and sound effects, however, add a nice retro vibe that keeps things engaging. Benefactor is a hidden gem that grows on you with time. It's a clever mix of platforming and puzzling that rewards both strategy and persistence. The learning curve might be steep, but once you're in the groove, it's hard to put down. If there was an award for games that get better the more you play, Benefactor would be a strong contender. So grab your joystick, suit up in your most embarrassing tracksuit, and get ready to save the universe, one colourful merry man at a time. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and let us know your experiences playing Benefactor in the comment section. Be sure to look through the various other Commodore classics up on the channel playlists, and if you're enjoying this nostalgic trip down memory lane, then stick around, and maybe even subscribe. It's an epic journey, and there's plenty more ground to cover. Hopefully, I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, bye for now.